It was 2:47 a.m. The city was sound asleep, but one person, Rocky, was wide awake. He was sitting on the floor of his small room, a space that felt as empty as his spirit. Darkness and silence were his only companions. The faint glow from his old phone lit up a crumpled note. On it, 4 words. "You can't do it." These words, scribbled by someone he once called a friend, weren't just ink on paper anymore. Tonight, they were a raging fire in his mind, burning through every last bit of hope he had left. The past few months had been a relentless series of failures. Every door he knocked on seemed to slam shut in his face. His dream of becoming something, anything really, felt like a distant, impossible fantasy. He'd lost his job. He'd failed his exams. Even his own parents, the 2 people who were supposed to be his unshakable support, had started to doubt him. Their silence was louder than any criticism, and the worst part? He had stopped believing in himself too. The reflection in the mirror was a stranger, a ghost of the person he used to be. But tonight, in the suffocating stillness, something was different. A strange energy stirred within him. He looked at his reflection in the dark glass of the window and whispered a question into the void. "Why am I even still trying?" The mirror offered no answers. His gaze drifted to an old, dusty photo on his table. He picked it up. It was him, a much younger version, standing proudly on a stage during a school festival. A shiny medal hung around his neck. He remembered that day vividly. The applause, the cheers, people shouting his name. They believed in him. That moment had felt like pure magic, like he could conquer the world. Now he was just a shadow of that confident, hopeful boy. As he stared at the faded photograph, a thought, quiet but persistent, surfaced in his mind. What if this isn't the end? It was a tiny spark in an ocean of darkness. Then, like a bolt of lightning, he remembered a line from an old movie, a voice that had inspired millions. "It's not about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward." The legendary words of Rocky Balboa echoed in his head, not as a whisper, but as a thunderous roar. Something inside him just clicked. It was like a switch had been flipped. He pushed himself up from the floor, his legs shaky but determined. Tears welled up in his eyes, but these weren't tears of despair. They were tears of defiance. He spoke out loud, his voice cracking but firm, filling the silent room. Tomorrow I start again." He had no idea how. The practicalities were overwhelming. He had no money, no support system, not even the whisper of a plan. But as he stood there, for the first time in what felt like a lifetime, he possessed the one thing that mattered more than anything else: fire, a burning, unquenchable fire in his soul. He grabbed a black marker, walked over to his wall and wrote a promise to himself, a contract with his future. 1 year from now, they will remember my name. The next morning, the alarm didn't wake him. His newfound purpose did. He was up before the sun. He didn't reach for his phone, didn't scroll through social media, didn't allow any distractions to poison his resolve. It was just him, his collection of broken dreams, and a ferocious will to fight back. He put on his old running shoes and stepped out into the pre-dawn chill. He started to run. His legs felt like lead. His lungs screamed for air, but he refused to stop. He pushed through the pain. Every single step felt like breaking a chain that had held him down for so long. Every ragged breath was a small, hard-won victory. He ran past the waking city, past the early morning commuters. Some people stared. A few even laughed at the struggling figure gasping for air. But for the first time, Rocky didn't care. He smiled, because this time, he wasn't running from his failures. He was running toward his future. As the sun finally broke over the horizon, painting the sky in brilliant shades of gold and orange, Rocky slowed to a stop. He stood there, bathed in the light of a new day, sweat dripping down his face, his chest heaving. He looked up at the vast open sky and whispered, his voice filled with a quiet strength, "This is the beginning." He had no map, no guide, no certainty of where this road would lead him. But deep down, in the very core of his being, He felt something powerful awakening. A comeback was coming. This story isn't just about a fictional character named Rocky. It's about the Rocky inside every single one of us. It's about that moment when you're at your absolute lowest, when the world has counted you out, and you find that last ember of fight within you. It's a reminder that your past failures do not define your future. Your story isn't over yet. The next chapter is waiting for you to write it. So what are you waiting for? Your comeback starts now. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content that fuels your fire. We'll see you in the next one.